Good evening, everyone. Severe Other Team 9 meteorologist Nathan John joining you for this edition of Nate at 8. And coming up, we're going to be talking about some sunshine. Going to be nice to see it. We're going to soak it up while we can tomorrow before that cloud cover spills back into the area into the weekend. And eventually, we're going to be tracking some rain with that cloud cover as well. And of course, tonight, going to be touching on what we saw last night. It was a great show last night. Unfortunately, just too much cloud cover for our area. But the northern lights, we're going to dive into that as well. Starting off with our temperatures, we're going to get right back close to values we had for this morning. Again, tomorrow morning, falling through the 40s and right back in the 30s, cooling about another 10 degrees from where we're currently at by tomorrow morning. And wind chills still remain a factor. We maintain a bit of a breeze tonight, tomorrow. Wind gusts upwards about 20 miles per hour tonight, 25 miles per hour tomorrow, sustained anywhere from about 5 up to about 15 miles per hour. So still a bit of a breeze, likely a little less with respect to today, but certainly still adds a chill to the air going into tomorrow. We look at clouds and radar, seeing that decrease in cloud cover upon us, and we're going to notice little cloud cover likely in places we extended to tomorrow morning. Again, that's what allows those temperatures to drop back closer towards that freezing mark by tomorrow morning. And of course, it's good news as we look ahead tonight for that potential for more northern lights. Now, I will say, the potential was there tonight to get back similar to values we had for last night, which is a rare event. We saw that K index reach into the 8s, not quite reaching 9, but into the 8s. That severe geomagnetic storm made it possible last night for those northern lights to be seen all the way down, even to Florida. Even across the deep south. So, that is a rare event. And to see that happen 2 nights in a row, it's almost too good to be true. And it looks like that's going to be the case. Now, while tonight likely not going to be as strong as what we had for last night, we still have a chance to see them. We're likely going to be more in that range of 7 to strong. So we still have that potential again for tonight was to be up to severe, but likely going to be more along that 7, that K index of 7, that strong. And that's, we have the potential there for us to see the northern lights. Again, not as great of odds as what we had last night. That being said, a lot less cloud cover in place tonight. So if you can get to a dark location, especially on the northern horizon, I think there's still a chance to spot some of those northern lights on the horizon tonight, especially through the lens of a camera. Even if your smartphone, you put it on night mode, make it a longer exposure shot. If you can even set it, even customize the setting and get it up to about 10 seconds, especially. The longer exposure shot, the better the odds that your phone camera is going to be able to pick it up. Even if you don't have a professional camera, right? You can still get it with a lot of these smartphones, have that capability of night mode, or if you can even customize it and set your exposure longer, better odds to spot those northern lights tonight more through the lens of a camera than with our own eyes. Last night, you could see it. A lot of reports of seeing it with your own eyes across the area in locations that saw those clouds clear. But I know for some of us, it just didn't come to fruition with the cloud cover being too much. But reports across the Buckeye State, back across the Midwest, and dealing, even be able to see at least some of those lights with own eyes. So, pretty rare event for us last night. And unfortunately, again, likely not a repeat of last night tonight, but at least the potential as we go through the night, at least on the northern horizon, to catch a little bit of a glimpse of those northern lights, especially through the lens of cameras. Hopefully that answers your question there, Jeffrey, on able to see the northern lights here in the Ohio Valley. And hello, what's going on? Thank you so much for tuning in, as always there, Jeffrey. So our future cast, as we extend going throughout the remainder of your Thursday, again, a lot of sunshine, high temperatures similar to what we had for today. So it's going to feel similar. Can say with a lot more sunshine, it may even feel a little warmer with respect to today. And the cloud cover, though, spills back into the area for your Friday. It's back to a mix of sun and clouds. High temperatures look even warmer, though, Friday, likely topping off even around the mid-50s Friday afternoon. Going to stay dry, but we'll just see some additional cloud cover on Friday. Now, by Saturday is when skies will likely turn cloudy. Notice Futurecast picking up on it. We can start to see some showers develop into Saturday afternoon. Looks more scattered in nature, but we may have to contend with some passing showers for the second half of your Saturday. By no means is Saturday going to be a washout, but we can have some showers developing, especially for the afternoon, evening, as high temperatures are likely getting closer to even 60 degrees for Saturday afternoon. The bulk of rain that we're going to have fall, and it's with a cold front passage, is likely going to hold off until Saturday night. So that's why no washout Saturday, certainly no washout Sunday. In fact, I think most of Sunday's dry. The washout period is going to be more Saturday night. So it coincides well for any outdoor plans you have for this weekend. Again, if you're planning anything outdoors Saturday afternoon and evening, just be prepared to dodge some rounds of rain. But there's some dry times mixed in, right? I don't foresee a complete washout latter part of Saturday. It's more in line with Saturday night. Now, by Sunday, a lot of the days likely dry. At the initial start of Sunday in the morning, especially around daybreak, and a little bit after that, we can have some showers right at the beginning of Sunday, and then not only drying up, but likely seeing a decrease in cloud cover throughout the day. So a lot of Sundays likely dry. The second half of Saturday can have to dodge some of those more hit or miss variety of those showers. And then Saturday night is when we're dealing with more widespread showers and possibly even more of a steady rain for Saturday night. Monday looking dry. Tomorrow, Friday looking dry. Really not a whole lot of rain overall over the next 5 days, but the wettest period, again, centered around Saturday night with a good chance for some showers starting to move in even as early as Saturday afternoon. A lot of the rain then exits even by daybreak Sunday. There's not too much likely lingering, but can't rule out at least some showers very early on into the day on Sunday. Joe, good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Austin, good evening. Today was another gusty day. Absolutely. How rare is it for November to experience some gusty winds? Pretty typical, Austin, in these transitional seasons that we deal with some pretty gusty winds. But, what's driving these wind speeds are different air masses. So, these transitional seasons are ripe for it. Spring and into fall. And, we're dealing with a lot of, very, cold and warm and mild air masses next to each other. Drives those wind speeds, and we can get some pretty gusty winds because of that for this time of the year. So yeah, there's just continuation again tomorrow, though again likely not quite to the extent of today. We can still have that breeze in place for tomorrow with wind gusts instead of today around 30, closer to about 25 miles per hour tomorrow. So your 9+1 day forecast, lots of sunshine. Again, going to be a pleasant day tomorrow. Certainly not warm. It's similar to what we had for today by tomorrow afternoon, but nice to spot a lot of sunshine. We get into Friday then mixed with more cloud cover, but still a pleasant day at that point, even milder. Friday afternoon, highs are even around the mid-50s. Then Saturday, closer to that 60-degree mark. That looks to be our warmest day as we go through the weekend. We'll be met with, again, some showers to have to dodge for the latter part of the day. Saturday night is our highest rain threat, even though we can't see it here in the 9+1 day forecast. Saturday night is when we're dealing with the widespread showers. They're likely. All of us getting that round of rain likely for Saturday night. Then by Sunday, a lot of it leaves. Some showers can linger around in the morning, but a lot of it's making its exit. Highs only make it around 50 degrees, which, as you can see, that's not much warming, only about 5 degrees of warming. Yes, that could very well be all we get. The technical high for Sunday could actually come at midnight as well. So, getting at midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, early Sunday morning, overnight Saturday, those temperatures can be further in the 50s at that point. So our technical high Sunday could come then, but the daytime high on Sunday likely only makes it to around 50 degrees. So the technical high could go down higher for Sunday, but, we're really referencing how it's going to be into the afternoon, right? Or really during the daytime hours. I know we talk sometimes about those highs in the morning, but this could very well occur, even going into about midday, early afternoon. Highs only make it about 50 degrees. So not much budge from the morning into the afternoon hours on Sunday is a good way to think about it. It's going to feel pretty similar between those two time periods. From there, then temperatures drop back below freezing into Monday morning. Another cool down follows early next week, but no repeat of the 30s for this week. So cool down, yes, with respect to the weekend, but 40s likely rather than 30s. So more chilly rather than cold next Monday, Tuesday. Monday looks to feature more sunshine, dry conditions, but Tuesday we'll have some better odds for some showers moving back in. And we can get a little more unsettled pattern going into the middle to latter part of next week. Highs look to be hovering around 50, if not in the 50s, and have better odds for some showers around going into the middle of next week and that following weekend, I should say, into next Saturday with some showers around. Now, as we start to look past that, that would be taking us then into the week of Thanksgiving. And, we could still see some moderate temperatures stick around into the beginning of that week, but there has been some hints that going into Thanksgiving, and especially then carrying over into through the end of the month and even into early December, that that time period where we can get another stretch of some colder weather returning. So, don't foresee a repeat of what we had the past 2 days, not today, but what we had Monday and Tuesday. I don't foresee a repeat of that here near term as we go over the next 10 days. But I think that, our next potential for something reminiscent of what we had Monday and Tuesday could very well arrive more in line with closer to, if not after Thanksgiving. So right at the end of this month, that's when I would watch into early December. That's when we have another shot of some colder air coming our way. So if you're wondering then, that taste of winter, when could it return? That looks to be the time period that we could have another taste of winter. But here near term, some chilly days in the mix, but overall pretty seasonal stretch. Notice the normal high this time of the year starting to fall into the lower 50s, and we're dealing with a lot of these days not too far from that. The coolest days at this point likely next Monday, Tuesday, and even then highs still into the 40s. So not a taste of winter, but still a couple of chilly days. Joe says, thank you, Nate. Well, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. You can catch me coming up News 9 at 10 on Fox 9, News 9 tonight at 11. And coming up tonight, give you the latest on the chance there to catch some of those northern lights. Again, potential still there tonight, just not as good viewing likely was what we had for last night in terms of the lights. Now, in terms of the cloud cover, it is better viewing. We got a lot less cloud cover in place tonight. And still don't give up hopes on it. If you step outside through the lens of a camera, at least, I think it's going to be a tough task for us to be able to see it with our own eyes tonight, like we had the potential for last night. But through the lens of a camera, especially on the northern horizon, get to a dark location, look north on the horizon. And I think that a lot of our cameras could still be able to pick up some of those northern lights overnight into tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, not a repeat. But again, last night was a pretty rare event. That G4, that severe geomagnetic storm, is not a typical occurrence for us here in the Ohio Valley. And we have likely coming up short of that threshold tonight, but still, I think we can get to, instead of G4, G3. So instead of severe, a strong. So right under that threshold, that potential is there for a strong geomagnetic storm. So even then, it still gives us a chance to at least spot some of those northern lights. Again, at least through the lens of a camera, go to night mode on your smartphone. Go to night mode, and that will set a longer exposure shot and hopefully be able to catch a glimpse of some of those northern lights. Thank you, as always. You can catch me coming up again, 10, 11, latest on the northern lights, latest on the rain around me for the weekend, and the latest on, of course, the rain for the weekend with the next edition of Nate at 8 as well, tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. So until then, have a great evening. I'll see all of you on the next edition of Nate at 8.